Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this week's Calorie Crush video. In an unusual location for the Calorie Crush, I'm in my front room. I'm recording this on Tuesday morning, it's about 11 o'clock. And at this specific moment in time, my front room is the coolest room in the house. So it is Tuesday the 19th of July today. And we are in the grip of what here in the UK we believe to be a heat wave. And before you say, I live in Malta and we live in these temperatures all the time, we're not used to it. We're not used to it. We don't cope. So, this is the coolest part of the house. This is where I am recording. This is water. Take note, I do occasionally drink water. What kind of week have I had apart from melting? It's been a funny week for how I felt about food. I can't check on my phone to see how many days I stayed under my calories. I did record a food diary, but I'll be blatantly honest with you, I can't be asked to edit it today. For me to get this into this video and get it up for Thursday, I would need to edit it to today. And to edit, I would have to sit in my office, and my office has been soaking up the sun, and the idea is it's just abhorrent. The idea of sitting there and editing a food diary in my office is abhorrent. I can edit this very quickly, providing I don't say too many times. So yeah, the idea of editing a food is not happening. But I will, however, pop a bit on the screen here now to show you how many days a week I stayed under my 1900 calorie goal, which is where I've left it for now. As you know, last week I was experiencing extreme water retention. Some of that has gone down. One leg has gone down considerably, the other leg is working its way down, which is strange because the temperature has risen. But of course I have been drinking more fluids to try and flush some of it through in some weird way. It's a strange thing because you feel like if I'm retaining water, the more I drink, the more I'll retain, but I'm trying to flush it through. Several of you commented last week saying, ask your doctor, you need to talk to your doctor, get your doctor to give you water tablets. Obviously, I have spoken to the doctor about my legs multiple times. I'm not just sitting at home going, there's something wrong with me, I'm not going to the doctor. I have been to the doctor multiple times. They don't want to give me water tablets yet. One of the phrase that the doctor used was, we don't want to put you on those yet because once you get on them, you stay on them for life. So I kind of see his point of view, but on the other side of the coin, if it would help, I'd be quite willing to stay on them for life, and I think, you know. However, I already do rush to the loo quite a lot, so the idea of rushing to the loo even more in this heat, again, not particularly tempting. But yes, I have been to a doctor. There is medical people do know about the issues that are going on here. I'm not just sitting at home having bad legs and not saying anything about it. So yeah, thank you for your concern, but medical personnel have been involved. So I was kind of hopeful that I would have got some of last week's gain off. Oh, the other thing is that just when I get on the scales, it comes up with a little picture that says weigh-in time, doesn't it? And then there's a little voiceover for me, and it says last week I weighed XXX pounds. And every week I'm supposed to delete that bit and re-record it with the correct amount. And last week I forgot. So last week it said, last week I weighed 274 pounds, then I went, oh, now I'm 278, that's a gain of 5. And a couple of you noticed in the comments, so that's not 5, that's 4. It's because it should have said, last week I weighed 273 pounds, and then the 8 made a gain of 5, but I forgot to change the voiceover. So I'll make sure to do that today. And yeah, it's been a hot and sweaty week. A lot of people get put off eating altogether. Unfortunately, that's not me. I don't get put off from eating, but I do get a bit devoid of inspiration about what to eat. There's only so much salad you can shovel in before feeling like you never want to see another salad, but also you don't really want to cook, do you? So it's swings around about. I've had fruit and yoghurt a few times for breakfast. Still quite heavily relying on wraps at the moment instead of bread. I just feel a little bit limp, and I think that everybody over the UK is probably feeling the same right now, just kind of like... I've got a fan on over there. I don't know if you might be able to hear the whirring of the fan, and the temptation to just stay in this chair all day with the fan blowing at me and not move is a strong temptation, but I have got eBay parcels I need to do. Come with me, let's jump on the scales and you'll see what I saw when I got on the scales yesterday morning. So I said, today's Tuesday, I got on the scales Monday morning. Last week I weighed 278 pounds. It's Monday, it's scales time. $275.4. I round that up to 275 and a half. Yeah. So I round that up to 275 and a half, And since last week I was 278, that is a loss of £2.5. It's okay, but it's not all of the gain back off, is it? You know, now I did say last week that I was aware that some was water retention and some was that I hadn't stuck within my calorie deficit. Who knows what's going on this week, because I don't know. I don't know whether I've lost the water, if I still feel like I've got some water. I don't know, but it's in the right direction at least, so we'll be pleased with that. I've got my weight loss board here. I brought this downstairs. I need to stick 2.5 back on, so bear with me while I find my little half. So here we go. That's 1, 2 and a half. I always link this board below. I got it on Etsy. I'm not affiliated with the seller. She's a lovely lady, but I don't get any kickback from you buying one, but I always link it so you guys can see it. And as I said last week, you can see there's blue tack on mine. The only reason I need the blue tack is because I move my board around to take it downstairs. I move it off my photo area. And somebody said to me, are they magnetic, when they wondered how they stick on otherwise. They're not magnetic, but they have, let me get one of the stars out. So each piece has this little bobble at the top. And the bobble fits onto the notch on the board, and so it just hangs in there. It doesn't need, it's not magnetic, it just hangs. And as long as you're just going to hang that on your wall and not move it, that's going to stay in there perfectly well. The only reason mine have blue tack is because I move my board around and I keep dropping them. But yeah, it doesn't actually need anything to fix it if you're going to leave it in one place. But then not magnetic. So there we go. My total weight loss then is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stone, 2, 4, 6.5 pounds. 7 stone, 6.5 pounds. Sometimes I feel as though that 8 stone is just a dream away, you know what I mean? I'm never going to get there. I got so close once and then gradually fell back the other direction. I sometimes feel like I'm never going to get there, I'm never going to get any further on. And then I ask myself, do I mind? And I'm like, well, yes, because there's still far too much bum and hips. Far too much of that going on. But then I am a woman of a certain age, and that's where the fat sits when you get to a certain age. And so then I think, can I be bothered to do this for the rest of my bloody life? And get back into that mindset of I don't know if I can. I'm going to carry on. I'm not done. I'm going to carry on. I will carry on filming. I've been filming my food this week again. So I will get around to doing the food diaries again, but I just couldn't face it today. The idea of sitting in there and editing. It's too hot. It's too hot to do anything unnecessary. And I'm afraid that today the food diary feels unnecessary. I have discovered quite a nice few low-calorie ice lollies and ice creams. So I think you already know that I'm a big fan of Oppo ice cream. That's 82 calories per 100 millilitres. You get 475 millilitres in the tub, so it makes the whole thing something like 375, 380 calories for a whole tub. That's a beautiful one, and they do several good flavours. But also lollies on sticks. I found quite a few low-calorie versions of that. So Farm Foods do a bubblegum lolly, the 6 in the box. I think they're £1 for 6, and they're just like Zapped. You might remember a Zap, kind of a, yeah, really nice ice cream lolly. And then if you find like an actual juice lolly, they are quite often only 30 or 40 calories for one of those, so they're definitely worth looking out for. I'm not a big fan of ice poles. I don't know why, because they're very low calorie. They're just not really interesting, are they? And I keep thinking I could make my own, and I didn't get around to that. I did make some homemade mousse this week out of yoghurt and jelly, and that was nice and low calorie, and I got through that quite well. Had that 3 days for dessert. I am just trying to think outside the box a bit more, because I think you get into a rut of the things you eat. So I'm trying to think outside the box a bit more, but it's very difficult to summon up any enthusiasm for preparing food. I still have enthusiasm for eating food. Just don't have any enthusiasm to prepare it in the heat. I think that's pretty much all I've got to say this week. I don't have anything exciting to say. Thank you to all of you for your continued support and for your investment in my journey. And, oh, it's my birthday this weekend. Thinking of things that might derail me, it is my birthday this weekend. I'm having my birthday barbecue. There will be a cake. There better be a cake. Imagine a birthday without a cake. I will try not to Kai, shush love. I will try not to overindulge too much, but I make no promises. We'll see. I'm on 7 stone, 6.5 pounds, and at the very least, let's set a target for next week. As you know, I don't often set a target, because what usually happens if I set a target is I rebel against it. But let's set a target for next week of trying to get the other half off so that we get back to 7.5 stone. Let's do that at least. I don't know why I'm saying we. It's just me, it's not you guys. If it was you as well, I could blame you when it all goes wrong. Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry it's been a bit limp. I feel very, very limp. Far too hot and just a little bit limp. I will see you all next week with next week's Calorie Crush, and let's hope I'm half a pound smaller. Take care. Bye for now.